So today I'm really treating myself to some me time regarding art making, and that means I'll be painting a little hand study because I'm a boring person. Kind of strange, but if you draw lots of client work, at least for me, it's not only that I want to do my personal work. I also kind of miss just drawing and painting and creating studies to get better at what I'm doing and to learn something. Because that's really something I just really enjoy. Just the act of drawing without having to think so much about what I'm actually creating. It's just really satisfying as an activity in itself. Because I really like drawing hands, and I'm not good enough at it yet. I mean, are you ever good enough at drawing hands? Okay, I drew a piece recently for a community project, and it included 4 hands, and I was really excited about that. And then all those hands didn't turn out amazingly beautiful, and I was like, no. Have I unlearned drawing hands? That I need to go back to practicing. Usually don't do studies digitally because it's not my main medium. However, I started, I think last year, a little jar where I put in a lot of practice exercises and different media that I wanted to do, and I meant to do them every week, and then I got really busy and I didn't do anything anymore. And now I'm kind of returning to my little jar, and my jar said, draw a hand in Photoshop. And now I thought, well, you have the time, you should probably do the thing. Oh yeah, and I'm using my own reference here because some days ago I managed to cut my finger because I'm just used to my knives never being actually sharp. So I have a very haphazard style of cutting vegetables and fruit and all these things, but now I got a bread knife finally, and it's super sharp. And yeah, I did not think about that. Wasn't focused enough while I was cutting bread. I was so excited that I finally got some sourdough bread that actually tastes really good, and it was a lot of work. It was like, I'm gonna cut this, and then there was my finger in the way, and yeah. But now it's healing really nicely, and my brain is starting to turn to more important things like, how can I make this work for me? And it's like, oh, I need to draw a hand. I want to draw a hand. Let's take a photo of your spindly, bony hand with a little tiny cut. So now I'm drawing my poor hand, commemorating the accident. I'm already not really getting the proportions right. I am sometimes talking to myself while I'm working, but usually I'm listening to audiobooks, and I thought maybe you just try it, maybe you just try to record this one. It's very low stakes, and I'm talking and trying to focus, and then it's like it works kind of. In the beginning it worked and I'm like, I need to focus, I need to get this right. The hand needs all my attention. So yeah. Also I'm nervously just making noises right now, so nervous noises. I usually never start digitally from scratch. I usually have a sort of an analog artwork scanned and then I paint on top of that. So I don't really have a technique I'm following here. I just kind of try to get the tonal values in there and get the proportions correctly. And you can see I have this texture in the background, so I don't really start from scratch. Just to, so it doesn't feel so empty. I've been doing so many ballpoint pen sketches lately and they were really small and I'm sitting here like, why does this painting take so long? Why am I not done yet? I'm so used to having a hand after like 3 minutes. But I don't make adjustments with my sketches for proportions because it's ballpoint pen. I cannot really erase anything. So I have to be really confident with my decisions and then just stick with them. And now we're digitally and I can't just fix everything if I want to. So I kind of have to ask myself, do I want to? I mean, it's a study, so I should try to create something that is as close as possible to my original, but I'm also like, yeah, I also want it to be a cool picture and I want to have fun, so let's see if we can find a compromise here. I don't know what I'm doing here. That's not usually how I add color, but I risk no fun, right? This is a pretty typical color scheme for white skin, where you have these greenish shadows, yellowish skin in the highlights, and you have reddish tones everywhere where you have quite a lot of blood flow and where folds come together and so on. So this should be pretty chill, but I usually work in black and white. So nothing's chill. Tricky bit is that right now I'm pretty much just working with grays, and I'm kind of trying to figure out how dark does each gray have to be, and trying to see if it needs to be minimally warmer, so more of this reddish brown hue, or if it needs to be a little bit colder, so more of this greenish hue. Yeah, colors are so tricky. I don't know why people do this to themselves. I mean, it's super interesting, but it's so much work. I mean, I have huge respect for people who are really good with colors. It's not me. I mean, that's why I'm doing this study, right? If I was just constantly doing stuff I'm already good at it. Well, it would maybe be good for my ego, but it would also get boring really quickly. Let's... I think that's a brown. Darker brown. No. Yeah. I don't know, I'm kind of jumping around. I mean, I think that this is not the most interesting or most important part of this, but for some reason right now I need to figure this one out. Oh well. Maybe I'm just too scared of the rest. Okay, the rest, oh, this seems easy, I can do this. But I feel a lot of the times the things where we think are going to be really easy and we can just do them real quick turn out to be the ones really biting us in the butt. There's a lot when I start a portrait piece and I'm like, oh, this is just a simple portrait, I'll do this in 3 hours or 6 hours or 12 hours. It's all pretty fast for me. And then I'll be sitting there 20 hours later like, why is this eye in the wrong place? This gets a lot darker there. Yeah, that's more saturated as well. So. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, oh no, okay. Darker. So notice how the closer you get to the shadow areas, with all the folds and so on, it starts to get a little bit more saturated. Like in the shadow, it's nearly grey or black, but at the edges, right where it starts to get lighter again, it's a little bit more saturated. Here, it's the closer you look at something, the more there is to see, and the more you have to keep track of, and yeah. So great. Yeah, I don't know. My hand has so many folds, it's like it's a crumpled up tissue paper. Oh no. 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 I mean, that is the nice thing about painting digitally, you just can't overpaint anything at any time. People always talk about the undo button, but I barely ever use the undo button. I just paint, paint, paint on top of everything. You can do that as well if you're working in acrylics or oil paint, but it's a lot more messy. No, this doesn't work at all. What did I do? Oh my goodness, what did I do here? Am I an eye or what? Okay, this is stronger. We have here this fatty, muscly area, which kind of bulges around the that one also goes there and then goes in there. Okay. There. And this knuckle is here. That's what happens if you don't carefully construct your sketch and don't really understand what you're drawing. But I think this is correct. We have this line that gets down there. This angle is down there. This thing is right here. Check. Let's go. Yes. Slightly. Raise. Slightly. Wow, okay. There we have all this light stuff coming through. That's annoying. There's nothing light supposed to be anymore. Darker. So we still have pure black in there. That is extremely unelegant. It's actually really rainy today, which would be super nice and relaxing if I could hear it inside. But the house is too well isolated. Like, I live under the roof and I can't even really hear the rain. What's that supposed to be? Modern homes. There's really vibrant red area here. Okay, this is too much, but I like it. I'll keep it for now. Okay. And the highlights is interesting because the skin is actually really just reflecting light. I mean, everything's reflecting light, right? Otherwise we couldn't see it. That's but they're like cooler highlights because the light outside is really pale and reflecting that. Oh, there's actually more purple in most areas because again there's more blood, but there's also just more bluish blood. There's more. These bits of the knuckles are always... Are those knuckles? Is it just... No, I don't think they are. Never mind. These foldy bits, I always think they're super difficult because it often looks like you just draw them on or paint them on. But they're, of course, have volume. They're not just lines, they're folds, and you need to see that. Is it getting worse? I feel it's getting worse. So, this is of course a line. This is not, there's not actually a line. This is what we have with bone. It's funny if you want to stop something, you're like, oh, it's gonna be fine. This is enough. This is good enough as it is. Another part of you is like, yeah, but I can still fix it. I can still do this thing. It's okay. You don't have to fix everything. Oh no, I will. There is still a thing I can do. Let me try. No, yes, I don't know. This needs to be broader anyways, I think. This. One of the reasons why I'm jumping around is that a part of me is still thinking how to handle one problem. I can just kind of muck about somewhere else. just kind of stay always moving and doing. Don't really get stuck somewhere. Okay. Yeah, but this isn't quite right either. What is this? Why have I been doing crime against art? Oh no. Okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, see, I want to finish this. I want to bring this to a conclusion, but I mean, if I wanted to be this to be a further realistic piece, then this would still require a few more hours of work. But I don't want to spend that much time on it. I have other things to do today. And I don't want another unfinished project somewhere in my folders that I never get around to doing something with. Ideally, for me, I can turn this into something. Okay, it's a small cut, but let's make it a little bit bigger, a little bit more impressive. I'm suffering here. With a big bread knife, it did bleed quite nicely. That texture is actually in the skin, so no, it's not that detailed. If I'm getting too detailed now in this area, it's gonna look weird because the rest isn't. So, what's this? Why is this still like this? No, we need to adjust this. So, again, trying to finish here. Trying to finish. Don't get into it again. It's not wrong, but it just looks weird if I leave it at this stage. Yeah, I don't know. Why not? Why not? So, well, this is still very rough too. I'm just trying to get everything kind of to a similar level of finish. I mean, technically it's totally okay if I were to leave something really rough and just focus on the detail as well, but I should have made that decision earlier if that had been my goal. I mean, it's not, so. Adding some drama here. Yeah, much better. Yeah, this looks, yeah. I have at no point saved this. That's very stupid of me. I've been looking at some textures I can add to this. make it look a little bit more interesting. Why not? This was quite nice. I like how this texture kind of points to the finger and having this texture there. Okay. Nope. Wait. Maybe. I mean, this is really just having some fun, right? And experimenting a little bit with how it looks. So this is kind of what I want it to look like, and it looks more organic now than it did before. So less digital. I think it's always a little bit stupid that you're doing a digital piece and then you're trying so hard to make it look like it's not digital, but oh well. Yes. Well, it's noticeable now. I mean, this is just a study, but I also just feel like having a little piece that I can show to people. Because if I paint a little bit on top of the texture, it won't look as much like I just put it on there. It's a little bit more believable as being part of the painting. Yes, I really like the pinky finger actually, though I did barely anything on that one. It just kind of works. It has this nice graphic shape somehow. I say, and then I start painting on top of it. But yeah, generally speaking. Okay. Like I feel this is missing something, and I mean it was supposed to just be a sketch or a study, so I mean my bread knife is nicer than this, but I'm calling this piece Kitchen Accident. The sourdough emergency. Well, it would have been a sourdough bread emergency. I don't think it's too graphic. I mean, it's also really ugly, but there should be some texture in there. I'm going to I think if I was a smart person, I would just create a brush or something that can mimic this for me. Oh no. Just quickly and a knife. Oh no. Why not? Yeah. Yeah, this is better. Yeah. Is that perfect? No, it's not perfect. Stop. Stop. You're done. No, I'm not done yet. You're done. Let it be. They're never gonna be great. They're just. But I have to try make them more pretty. Stop it.